Barmak, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Nikhil. Good to be with you again.
Yeah, absolutely great time. And, especially after announcing the Series B, we would love to hear your opinion about that.
Yeah, well, congratulations to you and the team for such amazing execution. Just incredibly happy with how the round came about. It's hard to imagine. It's been just a bit over a year since we led the last round of funding, and the growth has been spectacular. The team has executed incredibly well, and especially happy with the investor who joined us, 𝗪𝗏 from Highland Capital Partners. I've known Corey for a long time. He's just an incredible investor, and having him added to the board, I think it's awesome. The additional capital is great. The round was fantastic, and more importantly, it was well in advance of our need for capital. So it was a preemptive round, and obviously Corey was a big believer in what we're doing. So great job to you guys for just an amazing execution in just a year.
Thank you very much. And you know what I love to talk with you, Barmak, is because we are both the heads. You have an ex-entrepreneur and a VC, right? And so you have both the perspectives. So what I would love to hear, like, from your perspective is like, how are you seeing this AppSec field involved? Like, there's unification happening and, started with AppSec and vulnerability management. And where do you think industry is headed in the next 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's very heartening to see how far we've come along. As to some extent, 𝗪𝗏, which was the first company that Ted Schlein, Roger Thornton, myself, and a couple of others had created almost 21 years ago now. And I remember the early days of 𝗪𝗏. It was a very evangelical sell at that point. So when we used to talk about source code vulnerabilities, security issues, it required a lot of education in the market for people to appreciate how hackers could take advantage of inadvertent flaws in code to get access to your infrastructure. But fast forward 21 years, we see organic adoption by developers right now, and so there's obviously a lot of tools out there that allow you to identify security vulnerabilities during the software development lifecycle. There's a lot of tools emerging that allow you to automate the business of threat modeling, abuse case modeling upstream. So I think the 𝗙𝗍 pipeline and sort of the software development lifecycle has been enriched by a lot of automation to allow developers to be able to find and fix a lot of security vulnerabilities. And I maintain that the problem in application security is going to be one of governance, control, orchestration, and being able to keep track of what's happening upstream in the software development lifecycle. And that's why when we invested in ArmorCode, that the area of application security posture management and application security operations in general, I think is going to be a big issue to go solve, because there's no kind of central visibility platform that allows CISOs to still keep some level of governance, command, and control over what's happening upstream during the software development lifecycle. So I think that that problem is only going to be accentuated, and I think the only way to solve that is through automation, and that's what we do at ArmorCode.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you, and that's why we took a platform approach to begin with, right? Because as we looked at the problem, and in a short span of 3.5 years, we are already seeing the convergence between the application security and the infrastructure vulnerability management. And thanks for your continued support and trust in us that this funding will give us a tremendous amount of power to invest into the product, into the channels, expand on the European operations. So again, thanks for the trust over here. And again, from the go-to-market strategy perspective, right? Like, what's your thought, especially now that COVID is kind of over and it's still an enterprise sale? So what are your thoughts on go-to-market?
Yeah, I think something you probably pointed to, but not as much, was really important, is in the world of application security, the thing I've always loved about the product strategy and the product vision you and the team have had, Nikhil, towards application security has been the platform approach, because there's a lot of components or ingredients in operating and orchestrating application security end to end. And 𝗪𝗵𝘁, which is risk-based vulnerability management, is one component. Orchestration is one component. Keeping track of application risk is one component. Various components of ASPM are different ingredients of the same platform. So our ability to be able to offer that platform and be able to extend and build those business specific applications to allow the CISO to have a single pane of glass view to everything application security related, I think is going to be really important. So I think that product vision is really awesome, and just given the growth that we've had year over year, it kind of corroborates that the buyers are seeing it the same way. From a go-to-market perspective, you know, the companies go through various stages, and when we jumped on board, you guys had done a great job going through the product market fit stage. So there was some initial anchor companies that had acquired the product, and we knew what persona to sell to and what problem to go solve for. Just seeing the growth year over year, which has been absolutely extraordinary. We now know that there's an inherent pull in the market, and so now really the job of the team with the use of the additional capital is press the gas a bit harder on the front half of the business. I think geo expansion is an opportunity. I think the federal market is definitely an opportunity to explore. And I think the channel ecosystem is going to become a critical part of how we sell, and almost like an extended arm of our direct sales force. And if I take a look at the current bookings, a good majority of those bookings are coming from channel partners that have supported us through this journey. And so supporting them in return and ensuring that they're well taken care of is going to just give us the extension that we need to go after that market. So I'm pretty convinced that this market is huge. There's a lot of room to grow, both in the Fortune 500 Global 2000, but a lot of mid-market enterprises that have the same problem that these big enterprises have. So I'm very optimistic, and I think the additional capital is going to come really handy in that realm.
Yeah, Barmak, I couldn't agree more, and that's why I'm super excited. So thanks once again for your time today, for sharing your insight with the broader world here. Super excited, super jazzed to take this money and put it to use, and continue to grow the way we have been.
It's always good to chat to you, Nikhil. Again, congrats to you and the team. Just absolutely incredible execution, and again, a warm welcome to 𝗪𝗏 to our board. I think he's going to be awesome.
Yeah, looking forward. Thanks again.
Take care, Nikhil.